Hi all, welcome to another in a 5-minute chess nutshell. Okay, this is Romain Edouard against Hikaru Nakamura. It was played in round 10. d4, Nakamura chooses the Nimzo Indian. We see c4, e6, and knight c3, not this Queen's Indian stuff. Allowing the Nimzo Indian, knight f3, castles, and now bishop g5. This is the third most popular move here. Queen c2 is actually the most popular. c5, rook c1, h6. This has been seen quite a bit before. c takes, knight takes, d5, e3. And now it gets very interesting, and it has been seen before, this idea. Very interesting idea. e5. The idea here, it looks as though black's pawns are really weak, but black's idea is to do a pawn sack. So it's a kind of gambit, this position. d4, yeah, it's a gambit. e takes, knight takes d4. What does black have for the gambit in this scenario? He plays actually queen b6, which means rook d8 is now on the card. So there's dark square pressure. The bishop on h4 isn't going to help d4 that easily. If bishop takes, then black will be slightly better on queen takes with the bishop pair. It's fine for black technically. Knight f3 was played, and now the idea is very, very interesting. That d4 square in particular is kind of an Achilles heel. We see this tempo going on the queen, and now the fight for d4, g5 tempo, knight c6 ready to pounce into the d4 square after a move like g4, which I know it looks crazy, but it is actually played now. Because it looks very double-edged that there's these weaknesses, but not knight d4 immediately. In fact, bishop f8, which reveals it vacated the b4 square. Knight b4 is a clear and immediate threat to fork queen and bishop here. So white cannot routinely castle because of knight b4, just to show that on the board. Yes, that would be unfortunate. So we see another move, delaying castling, and now rook e8 check. The king is caught before castling and moves to f1. Already there is some clear compensation here. On bishop e2, then knight d4 is pretty nice for black. So this is not entirely pleasant for white now. Bishop e6, h3, maybe trying to use this h file. It looks in principle something to do, but knight h5. Now knight e4, being ready to collect knight takes g3 with a knight rather than doubling the pawns there, at least. Knight takes is played anyway. Rook ad8, very energetic play. Another pawn sack. Has white got time to exploit the h file or the f5 square? We see knight e5. So hitting g4, which would be threatening mate actually, because the queen is lurking around here on this diagonal. Bishop e2, bishop takes g4, bishop takes, knight takes with the mate threat, that's parried. Bishop b4, threatening rook d2, an interruption tactic. On rook d2, if the queen moves, then yes, we're back to f2. c5. This allows check though, and now a very, very good move from Nakamura, very crushing. It's a very, very good position here, but you need an accurate move to exploit it. What would you play if I give you 5 seconds, starting from now? Okay, bishop e1. Also rook e1 was strong. But, okay, f2 is very vulnerable. It's taken. Check. And it's still a very dangerous position. Now vacating f2 for knight f2 check. Very difficult for white to do anything about that. Gives up the exchange. Knight takes h3. It's carnage. Knight g5. The exchange up. Queen coming to protect the king a little bit. And here, white, the exchange down. It's a pretty hopeless position. White resigned. An amazing game from Nakamura. And we're still with 20 seconds to go. I hope you enjoyed this and got some ideas, 1 or 2 ideas for the Nimzo Indian, if you're a Nimzo Indian player especially. Thanks very much.